I've just done the old watch-along of the case of Dr. John Watson, and my mic wasn't my mic wasn't on. So, yeah. To do the other thing again now. Right, okay, so, for the first time, let's watch the case of Dr. John Watson. Second time. Right, so this episode, it's been a while since we shot it.
Oh? What kind of confession?
Concerning the exact truth as to what happened to my friend, Dr. Watson.
Yes.
He was kidnapped, wasn't he?
In which I had to keep this secret for a good 3 years. Not that it were much of a secret to keep, because nobody really asked me, but still.
There's no doubt about that.
I did have to keep it.
Except
I didn't even tell my family.
he was kidnapped by me.
I told me name, because obviously she's in it, but you know.
Please do not judge me for what
She
I
wasn't
did.
that bothered.
I had to do it for his own protection.
Well, why on earth would you do it?
To get ahead of Moriarty's game, of course. Dr. Watson being my dearest friend at the time, Moriarty could have done something to him which would have made me weak. I thought that perhaps if I staged a kidnapping and hid Watson away, then he could not have been brought to any harm. It was a huge chance I had to take, of course. Allow me to fully explain what happened on that night.
Remember shooting that. Shot that originally for episode 2.
Outside Watson's London home for a good hour and a half, processing my plan in my mind, asking myself if this was the right thing to do. I knew that before Watson goes to sleep that he has a cup of tea and reads his book.
Now these bits with me and Nathan were shot totally separately on 2 different days. I never filmed with Nathan for this specific scene. I think my grandma shot that with me, because obviously it's not me, you know. But the scene itself, when I get kidnapped, well, obviously it's Sherlock, but in the scene, it was actually my dad that wears the balaclava, so there's a fun fact for you. So yeah, Nathan shot this separately.
Sixth Street, Dr. John Watson speaking.
Dr. Watson, it's Susan.
Susan?
You've got to help me, Doctor, please.
He's known Sherlock for so long and he thinks it's Susan. It's brilliant.
Taking him away. He's gone.
Okay, just calm down.
I'm surprised he's fallen for it.
What's the matter?
They've dragged my husband
Strange,
into a
that.
cannabis den. I don't know what to do. Oh, please help me, Dr.
It's not a great impression, is it? Let's be honest.
It's a factory on Turk Road.
Okay, calm down, Susan. Just stay still. I will be there immediately.
The question is, who is Susan? Because his wife's Mary. There's another story there. Well, am I just missing something obvious there? I don't know who Susan is. But, you know. We had a letterbox back then. We hadn't had one for 8. It must have been over 5 years. Wow, that's strange. A letterbox.
I don't have time to explain. I need to meet other cannabis factories.
Yeah, now like this bit. That's not Nathan, that's my dad. Because we both show it on separate days. Just because of availability and stuff like that.
I dragged Watson away. I put him in the boot of my car and drove. I remembered a place from a previous case.
Now I like how this is all told in a form of a flashback, and he's told it brilliantly by, you know, putting it all in black and white, in which it makes sense, and it also adds for the dynamic of the scenes, you know, the dramaticness of it, which it really does add.
I understand how you must be feeling, Shirley.
We obviously filmed it in colour, you know, we're not back in the 1950s, but, you know, I think it's better in black and white, because it tells it from a flashback perspective.
I thought Moriarty's men would have been watching, and I also had to convince my brother Mycroft that Watson was certainly kidnapped by someone, so I had to stage another stunt. This was during a case I had in the city of York, investigating the missing husband of Mrs. St. Clair.
Neville?
Before I left for York, I planted Watson's mobile phone in a random house.
What are these episodes?
I set a timer on it to ring me at a specific time. When it did, I had to act like it was a lead to Watson's whereabouts, asking my brother Mycroft to trace the call to its location and going to investigate the house.
Never mind about me, just trace back the call that I just previously had. Trace it back to its location quick.
When I did go to the house on Potter Lane where Watson's phone was planted, I made a discovery. After almost being caught out by the house's owner, I found a ringing phone. On display, the caller ID was Moriarty. I answered the call, but on the other end was nothing. Just silence.
Was anyone else like to like fold the top up and then crunch them all up into like little bits? Good trick is this. Bunch of crisps up. Like that. And I'll put it other side, you know, for capture logos of products. So yeah, what you do is you crunch up crisps like that. It's the Lewis Wheelhouse trick is this. Hold it like that. Then just get a little nip at the, you know, the corner there. Then almost rubber. Now these, sorry I'm getting distracted. These bits, I was stood at the top of the staircase there. I had an LED light I brought on the night of filming, and I was doing that. So I was doing the dodgy light flickers. And yeah, it really adds to the scene. Here we go. The reveal. This was shown at the end of an episode, and I had to keep this secret for 3 years. Because it were like who was Sherlock come to see, and I think it ended there something. But yeah, it was
3
Watson.
months, Holmes. 3 months. When are you going to let me go?
My acting is horrible. 3 months, Holmes. 3 months. Speak properly, man. Now, what I like about this scene is there's a computer at the left-hand side. We did not set dress any of this. We just came into the room and that computer were there, so it sort of adds, it sort of makes you think that Watson has been in this room for quite a long period of time. So Sherlock's made it all nice for him. He's gave him a Windows 98 computer, which he'll be able to play ping-ball on. He'll be able to have a good game of ping-ball. But yeah, you've got to keep low tech so Moriarty don't find him. Good thinking. Ah, here we go. The burglars. Which I'll tell you something about that in a minute.
Follow me.
Now I really love this shot. Where watch the camera as we look up. Watch. There we go. Light pans directly into the camera, and there's just a beautiful lens flare that goes straight into the lens. We'll do it again in a minute. And it's just little moments like that that Nathan does when he's filming, and he knows what he's doing, and it's incredible. It just makes the episode. Stuff like that. I mean, when we're filming it, I didn't know. You know, Nathan just did it. I knew it looked good because, you know, I've seen it in films before, but... There we go. Hang on. You see lens flare go right into lens. It's beautiful. Such a brilliant shot. Now where the door opens here, I'm going to take credit here. I did that. I were behind the door going... So yeah, I didn't get credited for that. Oh, hang on, no, was that Nathan? No, that might be Nathan that did that. I turned those lights off. I'm trying to take as much credit as I can here. Get me on IMDb. Right, this is one of my favourite shots coming up. Wait, Sherlock comes in. This bit, both doors shut together. Now that as a shot alone is fantastic. One of my favourite shots is that. Now in this scene, you've got the music to make you think that this is Moriarty. I mean, to be fair, when I started watching this for the first time, after seeing this we filmed it in December. We filmed it a couple of days before Christmas. And after filming it, I forgot what we'd shot. So watching this for the first time, I generally thought that was Moriarty, because I forgot. Now, you see those feet there? Those were my feet. I played the burglar. Taking another credit, I know, but yeah, I played the burglar. Nathan voices him in a minute. They're my feet. And funnily enough, I am wearing the same shoes I wore 7 years ago. I mean, doesn't that say something about my fashion sense?
Hey, there's not worth robbing in love, is there? I'm only looking. I'll get this in into Jim. There's a few words that'll be worth a few bob or two.
Off I go. Now this bit's quite cool as well. This is the last shot as well that we shot of this block. Knock on door. And then end scene.
So,
No, I love this
what
episode.
is a lie?
This is my favourite episode from Nathan's Sherlock Holmes franchise, hands down. It really is. Just the cinematography in it is so fantastic. It's very well filmed. It's very well written, and it's just incredibly told. And it's just got some incredible shots in there as well. So yeah, I was really surprised when I saw this, because once we filmed it, I mean, I forgot the elements of what we shot, but
I did what I thought was right.
it didn't feel like much. I thought, it'll be one of those episodes, you know. I mean, we even improvised it, so I thought, I mean, it was 3 years later this got released, so by the time the trailer came out, I just thought it ditched it. So to see it, I thought, wow, you know,
You put her through the pain
that.
of thinking that he was actually kidnapped.
Well, why, I had to, Inspector. Otherwise she would have given the whole thing away. But she knows now, of course. Once the media had toned down a bit, I told her the whole truth and sent her over to America under a false identity to be with him. I couldn't also risk someone following her and finding it out.
Well, still, it was a silly thing to do.
But worth it. Watson is safe. He's with his wife and are happily getting along with life. Surely that's the only thing that matters.
So yeah, that's closure for Watson.
As long as you promise
Or is
not
it?
to snatch me or hide me away.
Yeah, that's it. I've not been asked back, unfortunately.
A joke, Inspector. Could you not recognise from the toning of my voice?
It's tricky to tell with you, Sherlock.
That was a good one.
Whereabouts in America is he hiding?
Oh, I could not possibly say. This line may not be...
Ryan Thompson plays Inspector Forbes really good. I mean, when I saw his episodes, when he came into the series, I really wanted to be in an episode with him. So this episode is the nearest I've been in with him. So yeah, it is a good episode because of that as well. Now, to hear the Big Ben chimes from where this is filmed, the north, it's very... It must be very loud. Bloody hell. This were filmed in, well, I can't say where Nathan is, but the north. So to hear Big Ben, bloody hell. But yeah, no, it's London, not the north. Now, coming up is another fantastic scene. I love how incredibly well this is written. Just, Sherlock, like, toasts to Watson. It's like a monologue in the mirror, and it's just so beautifully written. Have a watch of this.
What is the meaning of it, Watson? What is this circle of misery and violence and fear? It must have a purpose. Our universe is unmeaningful, and that is unthinkable. But what purpose? That is humanity's greatest problem, to which reason so far has no answer.
It's just incredible. Just that scene itself is amazing. I've always thought this, Nathan's way of writing and the way, just the whole process of working with Nathan, it's incredible. You know, I'm not being paid to say this. You know, he's stuck behind the camera with a gun to my head. No, seriously, Nathan is incredible at what he does. Just from the writing, filming side of it, just the whole lot, you know, and it was a pleasure to being a part of this as well. So fantastic. You know, I'm really, really proud of this episode. This is my favourite Sherlock Holmes episode. Out of the whole franchise, by far, this is my favourite. So, yeah. Really, really, I'm privileged to be a part of this series. Especially when making stuff like this. You know, doing that whole scene up at Youth Club, all improvised. It's incredible. I didn't think it'd be that good though, but when you watch it, you think, wow, you know, just not just the storytelling, but the cinematography in those scenes in the Youth Club is incredible. So yeah, I think that's what makes it my favourite episode. That. So yeah, there we go. That was a watch along of The Case of Dr. John Watson, and then like he does at the end, a toast. Now I swear to end it with that.